Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
What is up, everybody? It is actually Friday. We're recording this with a buddy, someone who I have watched grow super fast, and one of the hardest working people that I know. Someone who is part of GDU, someone who supported our events and gone to our events, someone who also has hired us for his marketing. And I would like to take a small bit of credit for his growth, but I can't take much because this dude is an absolute freaking hustler. And if you are in his area, you might as well probably try to reach out now to sell your business to him because he's going to eat you alive. Blake Furry.
Hey, and funny on that note, we've actually had 2 different companies in the last month reach out wanting us to buy them.
Boom. There you go. See? Podcast should have come out sooner. I think there's a lot of that going on. I want to get right into it. We're going to try and keep this episode short. You're a great personality. I think you're like the easiest guy to like in the world. However, I got to know your hustle, your game, how hard you work, probably pisses some people off, I imagine.
Yep.
So we're going to start with the beginnings, humble beginnings, okay? Can you share with us the origin story of Furry Door? Like what inspired you to enter the garage door industry and what were some unexpected challenges you faced in the early days?
Yeah. So I had this whole like almost presentation typed out on my computer, and I'm not even going to go off of it. I'm just going to kind of wing it. So it was 2016. I was selling cars for a local dealership here. Really enjoyed what I was doing and things like that. But being new in the car industry, as you know, you really have to work and it takes time to build your clientele up. And so, I was getting a sale here, sale there type of thing, and wasn't able to pay the bills the best I thought I was able to. My wife was in nursing school, and she had a part-time job working at a pharmacy. And she's one of those people that she really has to focus and study and grind to keep good grades. She gets good grades, but it takes a lot. And so her and I had a conversation one night, and I said, you quit your job. I will take a factory job that has guaranteed pay, guaranteed hour. And lo and behold, that factory was CHI. It's where I'm at. CHI is about a 20, maybe 20 or a little less drive from my shop, is the plant. And so I went to work there while she finished up her RN degree in nursing school, and she graduated, got a job at the hospital, and I was still working at the factory. My father kind of came to me. He said, Blake, is this what you anticipate on doing for the rest of your life? And I said, I don't know. I was kind of at a lost period where I was going through a lot of personal, kind of substance issues, drinking issues. I was a young kid, and I just didn't really have my mind on right. I wasn't determined and focused. My family has been self-employed since the 40s. I mean, started out with farming, and ever since then, they've owned motorcycle dealerships, warehouse distribution, trucking companies. You name it. So my dad kind of looked at me like, are you going to work for someone else, or are you going to follow in the family footsteps? He actually brought to me a opportunity to join a franchise with a garage door company out of Chicago. I won't name the name because the separation there kind of ended.
They suck. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It kind of ended with some legal things there, and it wasn't just me. It was me and about 12 other franchises actually filed a class action and got out of their contracts. But essentially, I joined in 2017. Signed up with the franchise, They gave me very minimal training. I think I helped out on 2 or 3 residential repairs, a couple days in Chicago to do some software training and such. Other than that, it was kind of like figure it out, my child. And so
There starts the solopreneur adventure.
yes, so about 2 or 2.5 years I was with them. I was just piecing and patching things together on the business side. I didn't know what I was doing in the garages necessarily either. There were so many jobs that I would have to go back to, and I'm like, okay, this is my 5th time here. How do I? Why is this still, breaking, or why is this still failing? And so I eventually, I told myself, I started nosediving into instruction manuals. I think that's when I first found out about the garage door tech Facebook pages and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I started, relying almost on those guys like, hey, you guys didn't sign up for this, but you guys are now my teachers. And get ready because I have a lot of questions.
I'm posting every day.
Yes, I mean, I was posting, I was messaging random dudes that I didn't even know. And then next thing you know, it evolved into, I mean, some of the guys I've been to their homes now and, met them in Louisville, I met them in Vegas, and it's just crazy how it's formed in almost like a family thing. But after we separated from that franchise, was born Furry Overhead Door Company. And obviously, I wanted to use my last name. I feel if you tag your last name on something or your name in general, pushes you a little bit further to do that extra quality.
Yes.
Because that's the last thing
100%.
you want is people going, Furry Overhead Door sucks or they broke my stuff.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you want. So it makes you push that much harder to have the
It's
quality.
catchy. The name is catchy.
We
And you did a good job with the logo, I think. Like it, and like your truck, the branding. Like I feel like you did a good job.
Yeah, and so my uncle actually designed, like he hand wrote that furry logo, and they had that on their trucking company back in like the 80s. And I mean, there's still a couple
Wow,
of semis across the parking lot that have that logo on it.
that's
So
crazy.
I knew he was going to be retiring soon, and I really wanted to keep that logo alive. It's one of my favorite things ever growing up around semis and stuff. So, but yeah, we blended the American flag in there, and over the course of will be little under 6.5 years now. It was August of 17. We have 10 times expanded and grown. I mean, as service professionals, as a business owner, everything you can name it. It's weird to think about that being a business owner and the things I learned here. I'm able to take home and implement as a father and a husband, and
Yeah, crazy.
a son of Christ. I mean, it's crazy.
Leadership. All
Yes.
right. What strategies did you implement to achieve such rapid success and growth in a competitive market like this?
I wish I knew that answer. I don't know. I think I've said this to you. I know I said it to Tamara numerous times. Blake Furry's been winging it since 2017, and there's still certain things that I'm doing that I'm kind of winging it. I think my market is. We talked about this on our shout out GDU, obviously on our GDU meeting yesterday. That our market is kind of odd because we're so close to the manufacturing plant, and there's no big metropolitan areas other than Chicago's 3 hours north, St. Louis is 2.5, Indianapolis is 2.5 east, and so the biggest populated area is my home base, more or less, of only like 180,000 people, and there's 4 or 5 other companies that are now left. When I first started, there was 15, and so I think
Wow.
the young drive and being willing to, every person has an iPad. We have headshots that every customer gets when we dispatch. They see who's coming. We have a little message with that dispatch. Staying with basically staying away from the old school style of the
Right.
handwritten receipts and, oh yeah, we're just a repair guy, has really helped us boom so fast in our market. And being transparent and honest up front. A lot of people get scared whenever they have to have a repairman come out because they think of your average, oh, he's coming here to try and sell me something I don't need because I don't know what I'm talking about. And so when we
Yeah.
go there, we show them, we explain them. One of the things that I learned at Summit, put the broken piece in their hand, make them feel their broken equipment.
Yes.
And now they say,
100%.
yeah. So it's things like that that we do. We don't just say, you got to replace this or repair this. You know, we want them to
Right.
feel comfortable with their purchase. And we don't do any kind of work until we tell them, hey, this is what it's going to cost you. If you're not comfortable with it, I understand. You know, obviously we do a little more sales than that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you know, if they're not comfortable with it, I get it. I tell people all the time, it's your money. I can't pull it out of your pocket. If I do, I'm probably going to go to jail.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so you're growing fast. You've got your name on the trucks. You don't want to ruin your name and reputation. How are you able to maintain excellent quality while also growing really fast? Has that been a challenge for you, or is that something that you're trying to figure out?
It was a challenge in the beginning, just because we were so overwhelmed. It was for the first 2.5 years, almost 3 years, it was me and one other guy, and that was it. And
Mm.
now we're up to me, and I've got between here in Alabama, I've got five guys on the road. And so now we're able to spend a little bit more time, you know, in the garages. And I didn't know anything about training. I didn't know where to go for training, for anything. You know, I didn't even know the IDA was a thing, or the IDEA was a thing back then. And so now when I hire people, we let them ride with our guys for a couple months, make sure they're a good fit, get them comfortable, and we will either send them to mount overhead training or mount
Yep.
on-site training, or we send them down to you guys, you know, for the sales training as well as the other trainings you guys offer. So that's
What
been
have been what's been the impact? Like, what was the number one thing that helped your business from sending them to mount on-site training, and what was the number one thing that impacted your business when they came back from my sales training?
so my third guy, yeah, it would be my third guy I hired, Justin. So he was working for the university here locally and had some maintenance experience, you know, general hand tools. And we taught him everything that we possibly could. And he's just, you know, came to me one day and said, Blake, there's just certain things I don't feel like I know well enough, or I'm really doubting myself when I'm, you know, in a garage. And so when I sent him to mount on site, he came back and it was just, you know, you could see the light bulb walking around over his head. He got it. He
Yeah,
understood it. Sales doubled. He was comfortable knowing what he was talking about. So that's what really helped with all of my guys since I've sent them to mount, understanding how a door works, you know, from top to bottom. I sent Sawyer and Austin to you in Atlanta for the sales. And I mean, after the first day, I mean, they called me, Blake, we're doing things, you know, we're doing things backwards. And you know, I was like, what are you talking about? And just the way you explained it to them, I think you've explained to me as well, but they were able to hear it and translate it in a different way than I did. And so it's like we all got together and took the same information, told it to each other 3 different ways, and we've implemented probably 9 different sales techniques, procedures, you know, daily things that we do. We now have a Tuesday meeting. We get together no matter what
nice.
Tuesday mornings and collaborate about what we're doing this week, what we did last week, where we failed last week, where we're going to win this week. And so, you know, it was a huge change of attitude and mindset once they
That's
left
great.
your.
It's awesome. Thank you for the feedback. I think that's awesome. I know David would thank you as well.
Yeah.
He's got a phenomenal program. The combination of the technical and the sales and customer service that I teach is like, if you get both of those, I think it's a home run, especially for newer people in our industry. All right. So shifting a little bit to like leadership philosophy. As an entrepreneur, what's the approach to leadership? Your approach to leadership and like team building?
To the
And your
team building.
situation's unique though, right? Because don't you know like almost all of your employees from outside of work? Like
Yep.
you hired a bunch of friends and family.
Every single one of them. So my newest guy, Brennan, we went to school together. He was a freshman when I was a senior. You know, so there was an age gap. I knew of him, but yeah, every single person I've hired is either very close friends or family. And I know people always say don't hire friends and family, but it's worked out nothing but the best for me. And I feel like when I offer them a position, I, you know, am portraying it as I will pay you well. if you show up, you work hard, willing to learn. We like to have a lot of fun. I'm very easygoing when it gives, time off and things like that. So I think the leadership standpoint is they still look at me as a friend, but I did make it very clear the minute you step in this building and until you get, you leave to drive home, I am your boss. I'm going to be a friendly boss, but I am your boss. So they understand that there are rules and limitations to how things operate around here. No one person gets more of a leeway or advantage than the other does, because one of them is my sister-in-law's brother. And so it's like, he knew coming in this, like, okay, we're kind of like family, but I told him that's just because you're family to me doesn't mean I'm going to treat you any different than I'm going to treat if I pull a random guy off the street.
That's got to be tough though, because I know it's been hard for me, like hiring and firing friends and family. Like I commonly joke I fired my mom and my wife, but the standard's got to be the same. Like, and
Yeah,
I'm able to like still love the people that used to work here, but you can tell they hate me now. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that bridge is burned. Like, and they all got let go because they didn't do what they said they were gonna do, but it's
because of
my
their
fault
actions.
for their actions, right? So like it's funny how that works out. But all
And
right,
I've been
where's
blessed that I don't know if obviously I think I'm doing something right. Over the 6.5 years, I've only had one person. I've never fired anybody, and I've never had anybody quit. I did have a guy, I guess I should say, quit, not on bad terms, not because he didn't like the job. He just got offered a better position. And I tell my guys all the time, about once a month, hey, everything going well. And I remind them, if you ever get a opportunity or someone offers you a job somewhere else, I don't want to see you go. Talk to me first if it's about money or something. But if it's just something that's truly going to better your life, I'm not going to be upset by you taking that. As long as you give me the courtesy heads up that you are interested in probably going to take it, give me time to at least fill your spot. But that, in my eyes, is if I've done that to train them on the personality side and the job ethic, work ethic side, and the skill side to take a better paying position or higher position somewhere, then I've done my job. I don't
yeah,
remember who said it, but I remember reading it somewhere that if you're not training every single one of your employees to the point to where they could open up their own business and compete against you, you're not doing enough.
yeah. A lot of people are scared of that though, bro.
Yeah,
You know, a lot of people are scared that they're going to train their people and then they leave them. And so I think that's why, like, it's demotivating for some business owners. But I agree with you. Like, I can't tell you how many people have left here and started their own company. It's been at least four that I know of. One just left, started his own company like 2 months ago, right? So, I mean, it's like, damn. But
now, out of those people, if I may ask, like, are they still around? Are their businesses still? Are they fruitful? Are they?
I don't know. I mean, I check on some of them. Like I think there's probably one that really tried to screw me bad. Found out he was like stealing from me and stuff, and then so I don't really check on him. And I believe genuinely, like if you start your business that way, it's not going to be successful.
Yeah,
So he may be fine now, but it's not gonna last. It's just freaking what goes around comes around. So for
absolutely.
me, I think yeah, I mean, I think, I wish the best for all of them, dude. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Like, who would I be if I discouraged people who had that hunger in their heart to go start their own thing? Like, I would feel like a total hypocrite, right? And I
Exactly.
know that everything that happens can't be in my best interest.
And I think it comes down to, like, you know, you're only hurting yourself by not training these people to eventually do that. But if they actually do break away and decide to do something on their own, you have failed in some way as a leader or a boss, because they left because their schedule wasn't flexible enough, they weren't making enough, or they were jealous of everything, the things that you had. So, in a
Yeah,
certain way, if they break away, I look at it as you didn't do enough for them in a different area.
yeah, very possible. That's true. All right. What have been the biggest business challenges you faced and how did you overcome them?
Um, I would say hands down the biggest obstacle I had was when I first started out. The only manufacturer that would even relatively talk to me was Amar. Excuse me, battling a cold over here. I started out there. DC was in St. Louis. After just shy of a year, they closed that one up, and I had to start buying out of Indianapolis. If there were certain times that we would run out of product, or I needed to get a door quicker or before my delivery would come, I would have to load a flatbed up and drive to St. Louis or Indianapolis. So it was like pulling teeth trying to keep things either in stock because they were having trouble keeping stuff in stock. And then once they closed down in Indianapolis, I truly was dead in the water. I was having to buy doors from my competitors here locally. So I think Scott Judah, shout out Scott, he's an awesome guy from GDS in Chicago, and he reached out to me because he kind of saw my frustration from these Facebook pages, and they became my main supplier for openers, parts, doors, things like that. Being in the heart of the CHI area, they, till this day, I even just had a call today, they still won't even entertain giving me a dealership. And I could have another podcast for 6 hours to talk about that one.
Maybe we should.
I could open you up to a lot of things on that. But
I think that'd be a good podcast.
It was really upsetting to me on the aspect of Sawyer, my first guy. His mom just retired there after 28 years at CHI. One of my parents' next door neighbors, she's the CFO, and Sawyer's brother has been at CHI for like 5 years now. And so we had, I worked there, and it's like, it was
you
almost
probably have some sort of like passion or love for the product, being that you work there with the people and everything, and then them not being able to like reciprocate that. That's probably frustrating.
I will say that I did have passion for that company and for the people. The people that work there are obviously great, but there's just so many internal, I will say, politics that are hindering me from having that dealership.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you've put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
My friend, I can tell you, have you heard the story about my relationship with CHI? So I bought from a distributor, and after many attempts at trying to get it right, it got to the point where we decided that we were going to back away. So we left. We called the rep and warned him, the CHI rep. We got a hold of him, and I was like, "Hey, man, look, I'm leaving the CHI distribution center. Just want to let you know, like, we would love to buy direct, but I know that you guys don't really do new dealers." He's like, "If you leave, I'll set you up as a dealer." And I was like, "Yo, well, I'm already leaving. Like, I put in a notice." And he was like, "Awesome." He's like, "Here's the paperwork." I filled out the paperwork, got it over to him. Didn't hear back. Followed up, nothing. Then I finally got a hold of him, and he said, "I changed my mind."
Oh,
that was his words. And I was like, okay. So then we didn't get it set up. Then we hired a commercial guy. He was friends with the rep of CHI and had an account set up in 24 hours for us to sell commercial products. So I was like, well, since we got the back end, can we order a residential too? I said, put in an order and we'll see if we get it. And sure enough, we did. So we start placing orders. And then what happened was we had like a GDU or like an event here at Aaron where we catered food and the food truck was in the back and a CHI truck happened to be back there. And I took a picture and the CHI truck was in the background. And the local distributor apparently freaked out, called the rep, and had a fit. So he canceled my account to where I could
Wow.
not sell them anymore. And then I like reached out to everybody there. They were like kind of cold and heartless. And then finally they set me back up. So they got me set back up. And they were like, don't post anything, whatever. Like you just keep it on the down low. And then next thing I know, I get a phone call from my rep, probably like a year later. He comes in here and he sits down and he says, "Hey bro, I can't sell you anymore." And not only that, we need you to pay for all the doors you've ordered in full so we can process it because your account's closed and you no longer have a credit with us.
Wow.
Like total FU moment, right? Like
that's like, but it's like two back-to-back FU moments.
Two back-to-back, like three really, but yes. And when you talk, like I got all the way to the CEO, and was essentially passed back down and was told there's nothing that we can do.
That's the verbatim what I was told, by the CFO. Blake, it's up to the sales guys. It's out of my hands. I go, you're the CFO and you can't, have some conversations. It makes sense
Right.
to you. Why can't you make it make sense
Well,
to the sales?
it makes a lot of sense knowing what I know about that situation and then all of the issues they have with like quality control, things like that. It's a leadership issue, in my opinion. Like I think
Yeah.
that you don't have a leader in place that's calling shots, and everyone's kind of doing their thing. And so that's my. And if he wants to call me, he can call me. He's got my cell phone number in my signature. You got plenty of emails from me, bro. So
Yep.
happy to chat if there's an issue with what I just said. All right, moving on. I won't keep doing that with CHI.
No,
What
you're
advice
fine.
would you give other entrepreneurs, especially those in home service industry who are looking to scale their business?
Well, I want to touch back on the struggles that I had. So
Yeah.
before this, so basically after all that, I went out to IDA in Vegas. What was it? It was been 2 years, I think, since 2 years.
2 years.
Went out there and, after I got turned down by CHI, I had called, Foreman, I had called Haas, called Clopay, Wayne Dalton. I mean, every manufacturer I could get through to somebody, I called, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I want to do. I need something. I need somebody. And I couldn't even get a phone call back. And so I regretted it.
Crazy, bro. It's like they
Yeah.
don't want to sell doors. I don't understand
Our
why they
sales
make
are
it
down,
so
but we
hard for
want to sell more.
dealers.
Like it makes no sense. And so I regretted it 24 hours after I did this in Vegas, but I don't regret it now. Vegas got the best of me. I had some drinks and I went into that conference and I was just like a bull in a china shop. I was angry. I was rude to some people. I apologized to the people that I was rude to and probably cursed at a few times. But I walked up to every single booth and I said, why won't you give me an effing chance? What have I done to you? I am a young kid and I'm trying to build myself. I'm trying to better my company. I'm trying to outdo your biggest guys. What does it take for me to have an opportunity? Give me 90 days to prove to you if I don't hit a sales goal or whatever goal you give me, then don't talk to me ever again. That's fine. But just give me something. And it was about 2 or 3 months after that, Taylor Neal from Haas. I mean, that's my homeboy right there. I don't think I will ever leave Haas. They have truly changed my life. They have changed my business. I am a direct dealer through them now. If any manufacturer came to me and offered me half pricing than what Haas is giving me, I think I would still order everything that I could through Haas. So to those people that are going through what I'm going through, the newer guys that they can't get, a dealership opened up, don't lose hope just because someone's told you no. I took a lot of no's to the chin for 6.5 years or about 6 years or so. And I finally got that one breakthrough, and all it takes is one. It takes one person to take a chance and an opportunity on you to truly change your business and your life, more or less. So
I'll
that's what I
second
would
that
say
with
that.
Halls too. Like they're pretty picky also about getting people in the door and bringing you on. But I will say that if you can get on with them, they're a
With
phenomenally run company, quality control, great leadership. Like they're well organized.
who?
So, Haas.
Oh, yes. And actually, I got one of my buddies in, I think you guys had a conversation with him about about marketing. His name's Jared in Iowa. I just got him hooked up and he's now a Haas dealer as well too. And he called me basically in tears, man, this is going to change my life.
Yeah,
And
bro.
so again, shout out Haas. Those are my people.
That's awesome.
I
Good
think they're
job,
going to take us
Haas.
to a Bengals game next year as well too. So we're crossing fingers on
That is
that.
awesome. All right, back to my question. What advice would you give other entrepreneurs, especially those in home service industry, who are looking to scale their business up?
um, any people, so even not in the home industry, I have people message me, locally that are opening a business here or there, or wanting to do something. What's the number one thing I tell people is, if you're going to do it with 2 feet in. You cannot put 1 foot in and have 1 foot elsewhere as a safety net or a safeguard. It is the most terrifying jump you will ever do, but you have to do it. If you are passionate enough about it, know that you can produce a quality product, whatever it may be. If you know that you can answer a phone and you can communicate well, it's the best thing that you'll ever do. One thing I've taken from selling cars was, I had a manager that told me, I was having a hard time. I'd sell a car and then I'd be bad about the follow up process, even though I would tell them. He said, Blake, do it because you said you would. No matter what it is, if you said that you would do it, do it. And so, anybody out there, if you tell a customer, I'll be back tomorrow to finish XYZ, I will get you a quote within 48 hours. I will send you a birthday, whatever you promised or you told them you would do, just do it. That is probably my biggest piece of advice, is follow through and do it.
It's good. It's real good. I agree with that. All right, future plans. Looking ahead, what are the future plans for Furry Doors? Are there any exciting projects or expansions on the horizon? I mean, bro, you're already multi-state.
That's another scary thing that I'm still trying to hone in on and tame this wild Mustang is, for those that don't know, I decided to open up a second branch 12 hours away from me in Southern Alabama. And the reason for that is my wife has family for there that was complaining that any kind of home service you need, you had to call a company over an hour away and they charge you drive time and they charge ridiculous prices. And so I basically just took that leap of faith and opened up down there. And it is still going a little slower than I would like it to be. But over the last month, me and my guy down there, we have had a lot of strong, passionate, a couple crying conversation, heart to hearts, and got him refocused. He almost felt like he was kind of fed to the wolves, and that is 100% my fault. But my future goals, yes, I do intend within the next 10 years to have another. I would like to have two more locations. So be multi state
Okay.
would be my goal.
Dang. So
I
everybody's got to watch out. So they're like, Furry's coming.
Furry is coming. We are coming strong. Furry is coming, and we are going to do the things that you guys are saying that you're going to do, but you're not doing. Because
Wow.
whenever I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Dang.
That's one thing that I take wholeheartedy, man. Um,
I like
you know,
it.
I don't have any
That's
huge
good.
projects right now. I had a huge one. I had about a $600,000 project that I regrettably, a little regrettably, I actually deleted the estimate and I did not put my bid on this project because there were so many things on the back end that I didn't know. For it was a public job, and I didn't know enough of the paperwork, and there were material bonds and bid bonds, and I didn't know any of that stuff, and all it took was for one thing to go wrong, and they got to keep like a $28,000 bid bond check from me, and it's like
Mm.
just gone in the air.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I've been actively learning on since I deleted that quote. I have been reading at least for an hour a day on how to get better at those.
Nice. All
I'm
right,
trying to think
shifting
what.
gears, bro. I'm going to
All right.
shift gears. Running a fast growing company is demanding. How do you manage your work life expectations with your family?
It's day to day. Might get a little emotional here.
Fluid.
I'm not good at it. The one thing that my wife loves about me is how passionate I am about what I do for a living and passionate about my company and my customers. You know, she knows how passionate I am about my children and being a husband to her. And there's times that I have a hard time putting the phone down when I get home or not being on an email whenever I'm at home. And so I've been getting better, but I'm not to where I want to be on that full separation because I'm sure as there was a point in time before you had certain people in place to take a phone call after hours or answer a question or an email for you whenever you were on vacation, and that's where I'm slowly getting to. And I'm making it a principle that on Sundays, though, I will say this: Sundays are, they're my family day, they're my God day, and my football day right now. So I will, if someone calls me, I will shoot a quick text back. Is it a 911 or can it wait till Monday? If they say it's a 911, I say, call this phone number right here. This is my office phone number, and she will take care of you. That's about the
Nice.
only thing you will see me do on work. But yeah, it's hard, especially as fast as we're growing, as demanding as this industry is. I don't want to ever put a customer off. Especially it's hard whenever we have some bigger contracts or we manage. I think we manage 12 property management companies, all of their parking garages on U of I campus, and so when they call, we have to get there because they pay. They pay for very high end service and quality from us. And so those are the ones that it's hard because I'll get calls at 3 in the morning. The owners feel like they have to call me, even though they have my office phone number. They want me showing up there, and
Yeah.
so it's hard. Definitely
I put
hard.
my personal cell phone number on my business cards. And as much as I love the idea of that, it's probably not the best decision I ever made. So I understand now when people whip out two phones out of their pockets.
Yeah,
All right,
I've
so
only
real
got.
quick, moving on because I'm freaking trying hard to hit this 12:45
Well,
time. So
I
we
mean
got
that's
like
an easy $20 we could each be making from Tamra. So
yeah,
we got to
yeah,
make
yeah.
that
All right,
happen.
mistakes. Can you share a significant mistake you made in your entrepreneurial journey and what you learned from it?
Not getting out of the field soon enough.
Mm.
It was not until this year that it was actually right after Sawyer left Atlanta, left your sales thing, and he kind of one of my employees yelled at me and said, "You're not being the boss that I know you can be," and I not regret. I cried. I cried like a baby. It made me feel terrible. But after that day, I blocked my entire schedule for the next 10 years on my House Call Pro. It's basically an indefinite schedule blockage. I got out of the field. I got in the office. I started focusing on building my employees up, searching for ways to better make their job easier, finding new customers. We've picked up like 14 contracts with factories since then. Um, I'm working on my business, not in it. There's
Yeah.
been so many things from our GDU meetings and the summit and just being around you guys that has helped me so much to grow this company. It is absolutely insane. So that is hands down the best thing I ever did was get out of the field. You have to work in it for a long time to build it,
Yeah.
but eventually you have to learn where you're being. If you come home and you're stressed because you didn't have enough time to put out quotes that you needed to get put out or to do payroll or to do things like that, you either need to hire someone to do that or you need to get your butt out of the field and you need to start doing that day in and day out, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, yeah. All right. You kind of just said it. I got three total questions left. How important is networking with the home service industry, and how has it impacted your business?
Absolutely huge. I have learned so many things from networking with different door guys, different owners, even just employees, across the nation. Um, I've actually received jobs from other guys that I've, never even met face to face, just off these networking groups. And I've actually given jobs. I just gave 2 car washes to Matt Weber. I basically said, use this guy. This is my dude up in Montana. Use him. And they reached out to him, and I don't know if they've closed on things, but that's how big networking is for me.
That is awesome. All right. Customer stories. Do you have any memorable customer stories that have impacted the way you do business?
I'm sure there is, and I'm trying to think of one. I'm sure I've had some in the past, but I just had one recently at my Alabama. It showed me that I needed to keep expanding in my Alabama. We had a guy that called in, wanted a quote, and apparently he had got called 3 or 4 of the companies that never returned a phone call or never got him the estimate. Talked to my guy, promised a quote within 48 hours, and he dropped the ball because he's still out in the field and was doing what I did in the beginning. He can't manage all of it at once, and so we got a 1-star review, and basically said that we were the world's effing shittiest business, out there. And that really hit me. And it's like, no one ever in the face of, in the almost 7 years of this has ever said that to me. And so I've failed my company in a sense that made that happen, because I didn't get him the help that he needed, whether he asked for it or not, or told me that he needed it. I haven't been paying attention. So that was a huge customer interaction that I personally didn't have that interaction, but it still revolves and comes back to me.
Yeah. All right. Last question. If Furry Door were to be the official garage door company of any event, company, or personality in the world, who would it be and why?
Company, person,
Event.
or event.
Could it be the Bengals?
And see, I'm not even a Bengals fan. I got 2 guys that are. That's
okay.
Like,
because you seem pretty passionate about that.
I would probably say that if I could be the face of it, it would be and I don't know if there's a specific group for this, but I would like to be the face of helping veterans out, whether it be getting them homes, getting them, the help that they need after they come home, buying them a dog, whatever. Because as I've explained to you guys, we sell used doors. And this year we've been able to donate close to $5,000 from selling used doors on Facebook. And I originally started out, I was paired up with the Veterans Coalition here, and we would donate money monthly to them to help them, get veterans the things that they need, whether it be life essentials or help pay a light bill 1 month. We offered them anytime someone would, it was rare, need a new garage door or a door fixed. We would not charge them. We would take a used door. We would put it in for free, lifetime guarantee on everything. If something broke, you call us, we fix it. We don't charge you. So that would be the one thing I think I would love to do, and kind of am doing, because we can't give enough back to those people that sacrifice for us.
That's awesome. I think that's an incredible answer. Way better than I anticipated. And with that, we literally are 45 minutes because we got started 2 minutes late. So still owes us $20. Also, I want to announce this podcast was brought to you by ChatGPT. I got all my questions off of ChatGPT for the very first time. In case you guys didn't notice, I was not winging it. I literally asked ChatGPT what I should ask Blake Furry with Furry Overhead Door on my podcast. All these questions came from ChatGPT. What do you think about that?
I have sent out multiple emails. That's how we picked up 6 factories, is because ChatGPT.
That was great. Freaking great. All right. Thank you guys for following along. Thanks, Blake, for joining the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like Blake on Facebook. He's freaking awesome. Super great guy. Love being around him. Love his energy. He's always super positive. Humble, as you can tell, and giving. So no doubt that's the recipe for success. So keep doing what you're doing and never forget the things that you're doing now when you get to be like in all 52 or how many ever states we got. All right.
Whenever I come to Buford.
Yeah. Let's join forces, bro. Let's merge.
When you want to sell to me.
Let's do it.
Ryan,
Thank you guys for following along. Aaron Overhead Doors and Furry Door is going to be merging in 2024 to make the best East Coast door company ever, and we will be launching in the West Coast in 2025.
Make garage doors great again, baby.
Yes.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it, man.
See ya.